Welcome to Sparklebritts, where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights and demand accountability.
Okay.
It's all on video.
Okay.
Your aggressive attitude's on video?
Okay.
You don't care?
Nope.
Why don't you care?
I don't.
You don't care? What's your name? What's your name?
Yeah.
Your name's Yeah, is it? Okay. So why are you on public property?
A tense confrontation broke out on the street as the private security team continued to patrol and try to control the behavior of the people, even though they were standing on public land. The cameraman firmly defended his right to film in public, constantly questioning the actual authority of the security guard, while the security guard kept changing the reason, sometimes saying this is private property, sometimes threatening, I will take your phone. The argument became more and more intense. The security guard even accused the cameraman of stalking and harassing, but could not provide clear evidence. The contradiction, confusion, and lack of legal knowledge of the security guard were exposed through each of the people's repeated questions. The climax was the threats, blame, and arguments about power. Watch the whole clip and please support this auditor by subscribing to his channel. The link is in the description.
So why can't I take a picture then in public place?
Take a picture of me, mate.
It's all on video, mate.
Okay.
It's all on video.
Okay.
Your aggressive attitude's on video?
Okay.
You don't care?
Nope.
Why don't you care?
I don't.
You don't care? What's your name? What's your name?
Yeah.
Your name's Yeah, is it? Okay. So why are you on public property?
Because I can be.
Why are you on public property telling members of the public what to do and what they can and can't do?
Because you can't take a picture.
Have you got authority to do that, have you?
Might do.
You might do.
Yeah.
Well, either you do or you don't.
Go home and kiss my picture.
No?
I think you will.
I don't think I will, mate. Why would I want to do that?
I don't know.
So, what gives you the right to be on public property telling people in the public what they can and can't do? Do you have any authority to do that, do you? Do you? I don't think you do you? And you know it, don't you? Or don't you know it? Because you should know it, shouldn't you? If you're in a public place telling members of the public what to do and what not to do, what they can do and what they can't do, you know what I mean? You should know the law then, shouldn't you? You should be taught the law.
If you come back to us to the vent, mate, then we'll prove it to you.
Come back to what?
Vent building.
The vent building?
Yeah.
Why would I have to do that?
Well, then we'll make it clear to you that you can't take pictures of us.
I'm in a public place, mate. I can take pictures of it. What's your name?
Tell you what. Now I'm on private property, pal.
I'm not recording you, I'm recording him.
Well, stand on here.
What's your name?
Depends on whether you want to use your phone or not.
Why would I lose my phone?
Private property, pal.
Why would I lose my phone?
Because I'd take it off you.
Would you? Why?
Recording my image without my permission.
Don't need permission, mate. You're in a public
Yes,
place.
yes,
You're in a public
We'll get
place.
someone down here to
You're in a public place.
tell this gentleman to stop videoing us and taking pictures.
I'm only videoing you because you was aggressive towards me. It's all on there, mate. It's all on there.
Just on Cranbrook.
I've got it all on video, mate. With your aggressive attitude.
I'm actually stood in one of the gardens.
Also recorded is the assault you created on me. Do you realise he's assaulted me?
Pardon?
Do you realise he's assaulted me?
Hey pal, someone's coming.
Yeah?
Yeah. While
Cool.
I'm on private property,
Yeah?
I suggest you take your phone away.
I can do what I want, mate.
Can you?
I'm on public property.
Okay.
On public property, mate. I can do what I want. Nothing better to do.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I find it interesting how private security companies are patrolling these streets telling members of the public what they can and can't do.
Yeah, you can.
You've got no authority to do that.
So I'm on private
I'm here to challenge that. What makes you think you've got the authority to tell members of the public what to do and what they can't do on a public place? You what?
You're going to get absolutely nowhere.
I'm going to get absolutely nowhere? Okay. Alright, we'll see about that.
Are you going to go home and, you know,
Am I going to go home and what? Am I going to...
Watch out, pal, because you'll end up taking your picture.
I'm not taking his picture, I'm taking... Here, mate. Oh, it don't matter, it don't matter. Go on, lads, alright.
Go on, lads. Alright. Go on, lads.
Yeah.
I hope you show your full family this.
Show my full family?
Yeah,
I'll be showing more than my full family, mate. I'll be showing more than my full family.
Good?
Yeah?
Yeah? See how far you get, Tom.
See how far I get?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heard about you the other night.
Did you?
Yeah, stalking my lads.
Stalking your lads?
Yeah.
I was stalking your lads, was I? Okay,
Which
alright then.
body were you taking pictures of?
Wouldn't you like to know, eh?
It's not really, mate, it's your preference.
Is it? Really? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, the other two on the other night, yeah, didn't try and assault me.
I'm not gonna die, mate.
No. Right, okay, well it's all on video, mate. It's all captured, so...
So which night was this then?
Well, you seem to know. Your pal seems to know.
How do I seem to know? I've just asked you.
Your pal seems to know. Seems to know what part of her bodies I was taking pictures of, doesn't he?
I asked you what part of the night.
We're asking you questions.
Yeah.
You're avoiding answers.
I was taking pictures of him down there whilst they was telling me off for being on public property.
Which night was
No,
this?
they won't tell you off for being on.
Yes, mate, yes there was. I've got that on camera as well, mate.
So the moment
I've
you
got that
step
on camera.
The moment you step on it, yeah,
I didn't step on there.
or down the.
I'm not step on the 10 foot. I was on public property. I was on the pavement and I was on the road, which is public
But
property.
why was you videoing them? For what reason?
I wasn't videoing them until they told me that I couldn't be on my phone.
Doing what?
Nothing to do with them. I'm on public property.
No, but if you were taking a picture of them.
I can do what I want on public property, mate. It's the law. I can do what I want on public property. You know that?
So
So-
you're alright on
so the
public
laws-
property to, I don't know, let's say throw your bike at me, are we? You're alright on because you're on public property.
No, because that would then be assault, wouldn't it? I haven't thrown my bike at you,
You're
have I?
alright to take my video then without my
Yeah,
permission?
yeah,
No, you're not.
yeah, I am. Oh, yes, I am, mate. Oh, yes, I am. Suggest that you go and check the law, right?
Are you a law student?
No, mate.
Then I suggest you be quiet.
What? Suggest I be quiet? Why should I have to be quiet? Because I'm not a law student. Because I don't know what I'm on about. Right, okay. What about if I told you I wasn't a law student because I've been a law student?
Negative.
Do you have to be a law student to know the law, do you?
Receive.
So is that why you two don't know the law?
I know about it.
You know the law, do you?
I've got a licence, yeah.
Okay. And a licence means you know the law, does it?
No
So you taught the law, was you, during your licence course, was it? Your 2-week course for your SIA licence, was it?
To know what I need to know, yeah.
You need to know what you need to know. Well, clearly you don't, because you don't know what you need to know, do you?
Well, you need to know, mate, that is a bit weird of you standing here videoing me. Are you going to take it over?
I'm videoing you now because of my own fucking safety and your safety.
Feel free to ride.
Because you tried to assault me.
I will not assault anybody.
This is documented, right? This is all getting documented.
So nice, folks.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Because it's clear that you don't know the law and you're throwing your weight around on a public place, right? With members of the public. I've got it wrong, have I?
If you can then show me which law that is.
No, I'm.
Okay.
If you,
No, if you show me the law,
yeah.
I will gladly move.
Okay.
That's not a problem at all with me.
Okay, I'm asking you to move, and I'm telling you, you're creating a breach of the peace by being here.
What breach of the peace? What breach of the peace? There is no member of the
You'll be
public
arrested
here.
for a breach of the peace, and you will be removed.
There is no member of the public here, sir. Okay, so as I said to you, if you can tell.
A dramatic confrontation took place at the police station car park when the cameraman entered an area without any signs or barriers, asserting his right to film in public. However, Sergeant Brown kept changing the reason for asking him to leave, sometimes saying it was a private car park, sometimes citing disturbing the peace, then trespassing on property, but could not provide any specific law despite repeated questioning. The absurdity became even more apparent when the cameraman pointed out that there were no signs prohibiting him, and quoted official guidance, but the sergeant still ignored him and threatened to force him to leave. The tension was heightened when the cameraman asserted that being touched would be against the law, while the sergeant stubbornly defended his vague point of view. The climax came when a young PCSO appeared, listened, read the document and acknowledged his right to film, creating a complete contrast to Sergeant Brown's authoritative and confused attitude. In the end, after much debate, the person filming only left after receiving an apology, emphasizing that if only civilized dialogue had been used, everything would have been much simpler. The video vividly demonstrates the abuse of power and ignorance of the law by some police officers, while also showing the power of knowing one's civil rights and having a calm, reasonable dialogue.
Who are you?
I'm asking you to leave a private
Yeah,
area.
I'm asking you to identify yourself
No,
properly.
I'm asking you.
If you identify, then we'll engage.
Okay, I'm Sergeant Brown
Thank you.
from Shelburne Police Station. My call number is 2374.
Thank you very much, Sergeant.
You're in a private car park.
Okay, so what
You're
says
not
that
on
I
public
can't?
land.
What says that I can't come here?
This is a private car park.
It doesn't say private.
Excuse me, I'm asking you to leave.
It doesn't say private.
Okay, I'm asking you
Okay,
to leave a private
this,
car park.
okay, is public property.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Who pays for it?
This is a police station
Who
car
pays
park
for it?
for private police vehicles.
No, it doesn't
police
say that.
personnel.
It doesn't say that.
Okay,
Okay,
asking
I've
you to
broken no
leave.
laws.
Okay.
I've broken no laws.
Okay, I'm asking
Okay.
you to leave the
Yeah,
police
but I've
station.
broken no laws. Okay, it is a
You're
public.
trespassing.
No, I'm not trespassing.
You are
Trespass is
trespassing.
civil.
Okay.
Trespass is
You're
civil.
creating a breach of the peace, which you can be arrested for.
Okay,
removed,
so where's the member of the public?
Excuse me.
Okay, there is no member of the public,
Excuse
so
me.
it can't be breach of the peace.
Excuse me. You are in
Okay.
a private police station, private
No,
car park.
I am not in a
I'm
private
asking you
car
to
park.
leave.
I am not in a private car park.
Okay.
If you can then show me which law that is.
No, I'm.
Okay.
If you,
No,
do not
if you show
remove
me the
yourself-
law, if you show me the
Okay,
law,
yeah.
I will gladly move.
Okay.
That's not a problem at all with me.
Okay, I'm asking you to move, and I'm telling you, you're creating a breach of the peace by being here.
What breach
If
of the
you-
peace?
if you
What
do
breach
not-
of the
if you
peace?
do not leave,
There is no member of the
You'll be
public
arrested
here.
for a breach of the peace, and you will be removed.
There is no member of the public here, sir. Okay, so as I said to you, if you can tell me which law
There is no member of the public
which
here.
law it is, okay, to do with breach of the peace, then I will actually deal with that.
I'm asking you to remove yourself.
And I
from a
said that I
private
do not
police
have to
car
move.
park, okay?
I do not have
Well,
to
I'm
move.
telling you that you do.
No, whether or not you
okay?
tell
and
me
I'm advising
and what
you
the
that
law
if you
is,
do not, you will
okay,
be removed.
whether or not,
okay,
okay,
you will
if
be
you-
removed, to
and that will
prevent a
be
breach of the
completely
peace.
unlawful.
Okay.
That will be completely unlawful.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay? You disagree?
Yes.
Okay, as I've already requested from you 4 times now, and I'll request it for a 5th time.
Yeah.
If you can actually show me which law
I've just told
says
you,
that I
to
can't
prevent a
be
breach
here.
of the peace.
No, which law that I can't
I've just
be
told
here.
you to prevent a breach of the peace.
Breach
Doesn't
of
matter
the
where you
peace
are.
isn't the law to do
Breach of
with
the
where
peace-
I stand
breach
on
of the peace
public
can
property.
occur in private or public
Okay.
property.
Yeah, and this
A
is
breach of the
public
peace-
property.
Yes, exactly. So
No,
a breach
you
of the peace
approach
can
me.
occur here.
You approach me.
And you,
Okay.
by being here, are the
That's not
cause
breach
of
of
that
the
breach
peace.
of the peace.
No,
So
you came
will
to
be
me.
removed if you do
came
not.
to me. Okay.
You will be
right.
removed.
Do you know who the MPCC are? Yes. Do you know who the
I
MPCC
don't
are?
need to answer that question.
Okay. Well, you might want to read that then.
I don't need to read that.
Well, you should read it.
I'm telling
okay?
you, you're on private property.
And before
I'm
you
asking to
actually
leave.
say anything, okay. And this is from the NPCC, okay, and then read that, and then you'll see that I can
need
be
to read
here
that.
and I can
I
film,
don't need to read that.
okay. So you're refusing to actually uphold what they've
need
actually
to
set
read
out, okay. Well, I'll carry on with my business then.
Okay.
If you have the correct signage, I want to come in, okay.
I'm telling you, it's private. I'm telling you, informing you, a police officer's telling you,
Regardless,
this is a private area, there's private...
It doesn't state that.
private vehicles
It
here.
does, no,
Okay, there are private
it's public
vehicles.
information.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've informed you,
Okay.
I've informed you as a police officer, this is a private area, okay?
It doesn't
and
state
I'm
that.
asking you to leave,
If you can show me where it states that,
okay?
Okay.
I'm telling you.
no,
I'm
whether or not
informing
you tell me, what you tell me does not trump what my legal right is.
Yeah, I'm asking
Okay,
you to
and
leave,
it doesn't
okay?
trump what my legal
I'm
right
asking you
is.
to leave. If you remain here, you'll be removed.
Okay, by who?
By myself.
By who?
By myself.
Okay, and I told you, if you touch me, it will be unlawful.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I've just walked back there to double check for signage. You do not have any signage at all
I'm informing
that states
you-
private.
I'm informing you this is a private area,
You
okay?
informing me saying private, okay, I can tell you, okay, I'm the Prime Minister, okay, and it makes no difference what I say, because there's no way of actually backing that up.
I'm telling you, by your presence here, you're creating a breach of the peace. Okay?
I'm not creating
For which
that
you can be
breach of the
arrested-
peace.
For which you can be arrested. You
Who
are.
approached who? Who approached
Your
who?
presence here is,
No, no,
is
no, no,
causing a
no,
breach of the peace.
no.
'Cause if you weren't
Who
here, I wouldn't
approached
be
who?
here. If you weren't here, I wouldn't
Well, you
be
don't
here.
have to be here.
I do, because
No,
you're,
you
on,
do
you're in a
not.
private police area.
It doesn't
trespassing.
state private,
Yeah, you've been
okay?
informed
It doesn't
that
state
this-
private,
you've been
and it's not a
informed-
restricted area.
you've been-
It's not a restricted
yeah,
area
you've been informed
because there's
this
no
is a-
barriers or nothing. Okay, so there is nothing there. So, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank
Good,
you.
good.
Just let you know I'm recording.
No worries. Thank you very much. Can you just identify yourself properly for me, please?
I can say I'm Richard PCSO 5992.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So, why are you up?
I'm just filming a public building.
It's alright, it's fine. Okay.
So, and as I said, okay, all this is publicly accessible. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that. Obviously, you know, it's not. I understand probably.
And that's all what it was. And then this sergeant comes up to me and he tries to actually make it up by saying me actually doing what I'm doing, okay, is a breach of the peace. I tried to give him a letter, okay, from the MPCC. Okay, you know who the MPCC are, yeah? Okay. So are you fully aware of what they do?
Well, let's see.
Okay.
You can have a look at the letter.
Yeah, please do.
Fine.
Please do, and I'm glad that you did, okay, and it's good that a PCSO has actually taken that up, okay, when you've got an actual sworn constable there, that wouldn't actually take that to actually have a look.
Oh, I can always, you can always read things. I mean, it's...
Yeah, no, by all means. That's why I carry that on me, and that's the reason why the NPCC actually got involved, is because we have the right to actually do this. Okay? And that's why I would say thank you to you for actually taking that and actually having a read of it. And you can see how important it is to actually have documents like that on us. Okay?
Yeah,
because then when you look at a sergeant such as this, okay, wouldn't even acknowledge that, right, and try to actually make it up.
Yeah, well, obviously, he's obvious. You've got to understand, obviously, with the trying times that we're in, that,
What trying times are they?
With obviously the, cases of terrorist threats, things like that. Obviously, there's not a big threat right now, but I'm not saying.
So,
that
do you know what the current level is at this moment in time?
Current level. I've not read it.
Okay, right. So you don't know what the level is.
But no, I'm not saying.
But also, can you tell me when was the last time a police station was actually touched by terrorists? It's not, okay, because it's general members of the public that will always be hit for the biggest result.
No, I understand that, but it's a case of, I believe, just because it hasn't happened recently, or maybe at all, I don't know. I've not seen any, previous news. Obviously you can see I'm quite young, so nothing I know of in my.
But as I said, so far, you've come up to me. You've been very professional. Okay, you could see what I was doing. Okay, I stated, do you know who the NPCC are? You said yes. I've shown you that document. Okay, and you're listening and you're being reasonable with the actual conversation.
Yeah.
Now you've decided to actually come up and actually engage and actually have a face-to-face, intelligent conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas that sergeant came up, was very rude, very aggressive. Okay, and making up different laws. Okay. Number one, exactly. You weren't here. You weren't here, exactly. But either way, it's all on camera, and that's why, okay, as a PCSO, okay, I will say thank you for actually looking at that, okay, and for engaging, as you should, with the members of the public. Okay, so from me, okay, that is a really, really good interaction, and that's how it should be. Okay, not like the sergeant, and if you do go on to become a PC, okay, I do wish you all the best with that.
Thank you very much, I appreciate that.
Because hopefully you won't then be partnered up with somebody that will make it up and actually make you look at the laws in the wrong way, and hopefully you'll get someone that will show you the correct way. Yeah.
Obviously, every interaction is different, and he is my sergeant.
Yeah, but whether or not he's a sergeant or not, he can't make up laws. He can't make up laws. That's what he has to remember. And what he actually thinks, okay, and what he's saying does not trump my legal right.
Yeah. So if it take a while to read this.
No. Please take your time. That's why I always carry copies with. That's why I always carry copies with me. Okay, just so people can actually read it. Okay, because I think it's very important to actually show, okay, what they actually put out, and that went out to all police stations. Okay, and it's an official document. Okay, it's been passed all the way down. That's actually about the fourth draft for that.
No, absolutely.
And they have actually condensed quite a lot of it.
That's all right.
So, but it is a very, very important document.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why, as I said, that's why I always make sure that I have a copy with me, just so people can see, look, what I'm doing. As I said, if this was a restricted area, if there was a gate there, or if there was a sign saying private property, okay, no public access, whatever, I would not have come in. But there is none of that, okay. so it means it's fully accessible to the public. Yeah. But it's an interesting document. Okay, but you can see there that it states clearly. Okay, now just so you are aware. Okay, your sergeant has told me that if I remain here, that he will physically remove me. Okay, and I'm not going to be threatened. Okay, at all in any way. Okay, so what I want to do, okay, is I just want to make you fully aware of that. Yeah. Okay, just so you're fully aware. Okay.
You made him fully aware of that?
No, because he walked over there, and that's when you came out, and that's why I've engaged with you.
It's probably best to make him fully aware of that as well.
Okay.
I'm sure he will listen to you.
But as long as I actually inform one of you, okay,
No,
and that's
fine,
exactly
but
what I've done.
It's in my eyes. If you know, obviously, it's not in my remit to, you know, in most circumstances, to physically remove anybody.
Yeah, and
So,
it shouldn't be done.
To me,
It's like, for me, if he wasn't the way that he was, okay,
Yeah.
I would have been in, I would have walked around where I did, okay, and I would have passed through, and I would have just carried on going. Okay, but as I said, okay, as a member of the public, I'm not going to be threatened at all. I'm not going to be threatened. Okay, I'm not going to be intimidated by a thug. Okay, no, he is. He can't make up laws and he can't threaten people. He can't do that.
I've not been part of that interaction. Obviously, I know my sergeant quite well.
Whether or not you know him quite well, okay, and as I said, okay, hopefully you're not learning directly off of this gentleman, because if you're learning directly and that's how you're being taught, then I will say God help you. Okay, as I said, you gave me the courtesy of reading the document, looking it up, and we've had a nice interaction, and this is how any interaction should be. An interaction should be not aggressive, very rude, okay? And at first he didn't even want to identify himself at first, until I asked. And then when he was actually saying to do with certain law, I asked him to actually tell me the correct law, and if he could have told me that, then I would have actually made my way, if he could have given me a correct law in which to do so. Okay. And that's why I said I will not be threatened by somebody.
Okay. So obviously, I can't remember if you actually told me. So like, obviously you've come here to Sherwood today, obviously to come to look at the police station.
Yeah.
What's the reason for that? Is it like
It's a public building.
or-
No, it's a public building.
Okay.
So and I film public services.
Okay. So like obviously, you know, it's because it's a police public building. Is that the reason? Would you like go? I'm just, you know, genuinely asking you. Yeah, and obviously, you know, do you like, you know, go to like fire service? Do you do
Yeah,
fire service
I
as
would
well?
go to a fire service.
Yeah.
Okay, but the big difference between yourself and the fire service and an ambulance, okay, is they are there to save lives. Okay, yep, you as police officers will also do that, but at the same time, your main priority is to actually uphold the law. That is your main priority,
Yeah.
first and foremost.
Yeah.
Okay, is to uphold the law of the land.
Yeah, and to protect people, I understand that, and obviously we do save a lot of lives. To be,
I know, as I
quite
said,
honest.
yeah, and as
You
I
know?
said, at the moment there's a massive disconnect between the public and the police, okay? And he is the type of officer to why that is there, right? And when you look, that is a bridge that we need to bridge, right? That is what we need to do, right? That gap needs to get closer and closer together. Now, we need a police force, we want a police force, but what we do not want, okay, is we do not want people that make it up, okay, try to intimidate people, okay, and try to threaten that they're going to physically remove them for doing nothing except a completely legal activity, okay, that is well within my rights to do so. Right, and that is why, okay, if he'd actually come up to me the same way that you did and engage with me in the same manner in which you did, okay, you can see how calm it is. And this is how all interactions should be. Okay, they should not be the way in which he approached, not at all. Right, and as I said to you, okay, if you do go on to become a PC and you stay the way that you are, you're going to make a fantastic PC.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you know, obviously, you know, I didn't see the initial reaction, obviously, you know, but, you know, one thing that I do know is obviously that, you know, if anything, obviously we don't always, you know, it's not that he would look at the person, it's obviously the fact that obviously you're here and his job is obviously to look after the welfare of himself and his colleagues as well as the rest of the public.
Yeah, but then what you got to remember is, as an actual serving constable or a PCSO, you're still answerable to the public.
Of course.
Okay, and the public is still entitled to actually come round, ask questions, okay, and walk round, okay, police property where it's not a restricted area, okay, where there's a barrier, okay, that's a restricted area, or where there's signage that actually states no public access and so on and so forth. And when there is not that, I do have the right to actually access wherever, okay, because it's publicly accessible.
Okay. Obviously, you know, the way you got to look at it as well is obviously you got to look at it from sort of our, you know, sort of perspective. Most of the time, I'd say 99.9% of the time, the public don't come down here. They go into the inquiry office to speak to us, because that's the norm.
Yep,
if you know what I mean, you know, you understand.
Yep.
Obviously, so you know, I understand. Obviously, you know where you are coming from. We're having, you know, perfectly, you know, calm conversation,
Yep,
and
exactly
you know, I
as it should be.
appreciate from you as well. You know, but you know, there's obviously, you know, it's a case of, you know, like I say, he's not here to just flout. He's here to obviously, you know, there's multiple jobs that we have, and one of the jobs that we do have is, like I say, is protecting ourselves as well as everybody else.
Yep.
So
Well, can I ask you a question? Do you feel in danger?
I don't right now, no.
Okay.
Which is why I'm here. I mean, you know, it's what we do. I've assessed you. I don't think that you're of any threat to me right now.
No, and I won't be of any threat.
Anyone,
I will not be of any threat, okay? It's not, I will not attack anyone, okay? As you say, okay, I was just here to film, right? And as I said, if he didn't actually make the actual statements and the threats in which he did, okay, and just allowed me to carry on with my business, then I would have actually been on my way a long time ago, okay? Now, I've been here for what? About 30 minutes or so, okay? Now, if I was just left alone, right, without the actual threats, then I would have been on my way.
Okay.
But as I said, I'm not, as a member of the public.
Thank you for watching. Police using vague justifications to stop, question, or detain people without cause is a growing concern. Simply being in public is not a crime, and officers cannot demand compliance without legal justification. Whether it's intimidation tactics, unlawful demands for ID, or escalating situations without cause, standing your ground and recording every interaction is key to holding them accountable. Always ask questions, challenge unlawful orders, and never let your rights be ignored. Subscribe for more UK police accountability videos, real encounters, and important lessons on knowing your rights. Stay informed, stay empowered, and never stop filming.